I'm Katie Lee, Chief Nursing Officer of Saline Memorial Hospital, and proud to be chairing the 2020 Central Arkansas Go Red for Women event. These are truly unprecedented times that are impacting everyone, but we are adaptable in the face of adversity, and while we can't be together face to face, we can be a relentless force together through virtual events, proving our ability to fight for women's heart health from anywhere at any time. Cardiovascular disease isn't taking a break right now, and neither are we. Adjusting to the virtual landscape has provided us new and exciting opportunities that we hope you'll join. All week long, we'll be hosting a week of wellness. Every day at noon, we'll share great information like a tasty recipe to try at home and tips on how to make healthy choices at the store, stress busting tips, and strategies for making your heart health weight journey a success. Millions of women are counting on the American Heart Association for science-based information right now. We ask that you join us for the mothers, sisters, friends, for every woman in your life. Heart disease is the number one killer of women. It claims the lives of 1 out of 3 women. But there are things you can do to protect yourself and those you love. Here is Saline Heart Group kicking off our week of wellness.
You're never too young or old to really start taking care of your health, and preventing heart disease means making smart choices now that will pay off for the rest of your life. But where exactly do you start? For that question, we are joined by Tabitha Jaggers of Saline Heart Group. Tabitha, how do you start?
So, no matter what your age, you're never too young or too old to really start benefiting from a healthy diet and adequate physical activity as well.
Mhm. What are some things that I can do on my own to protect my heart?
So, some things you can do on your own is you can choose foods that are low in saturated fat, trans fat, and sodium. And as part of a healthy diet, just eating plenty of fruits and vegetables and fiber rich whole grains and fish. And another tip is to avoid those sugary, sweetened beverages that always seem to taste so good in the summer.
Oh, yeah. Tastes so good, but you got to watch them. So the next time I go to my doctor, are there any things that I should focus on discussing to make sure I'm being heart healthy? And what exactly do they mean?
Okay, so there's a lot of numbers we have to memorize, such as phone numbers, birthdays, and when it comes to our heart, there's definitely some numbers that we want to know as well. So one of those is blood pressure. So when your blood pressure stays within a healthy range, you reduce the strain on your heart and the arteries and kidneys, which can make you live a healthier, longer life. And then another number you really want to pay attention to is your cholesterol. So high cholesterol contributes to plaque development in the arteries, which can increase your risk of heart disease and stroke. So definitely knowing where you're at with those numbers is important. And then also blood sugar is another number we really want to stay on top of.
Okay.
High levels of blood sugar over time, they can damage the heart, kidneys, eyes, and nerves. So it's important to watch those numbers carefully. And of course, being at a healthy weight helps reduce the risk of high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and high blood sugar. And it reduces the work on your heart and lungs and blood vessels.
Now, I know there are a lot of people out there who say, me included, who may say, I don't have to think about that just yet. What age should a person really start thinking about and paying attention to their heart health?
As soon as possible. So, I was like, say I'm 8 months pregnant right now, and I'm and I'm already thinking, okay, how can I keep myself healthy, keep
Uh-huh.
baby healthy? So we teach our children habits from a young age, and they'll stick with those the rest of their life. So doing things together as a family, like staying active or cooking healthy meals together, is a great way to start incorporating and teaching those healthy foundations at a young age.
Good to know. Are there things that, speaking of family, are there things that I should be talking about with my family now?
Yes, so getting a family history is so important, not only for cardiac care, but for your general care as well. So a lot of times, I know here in our clinic and other clinics, they have you fill out all those forms about your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, your parents, and the things they're asking is, does anyone in your family have a history of stroke? Does anyone have a history of a heart attack, or have they had stents before? That's because heart disease is strongly linked to family history, as well as the risk factors for developing heart disease, such as diabetes and high blood pressure and high cholesterol. So start with your siblings and ask them, parents, grandparents. We want to find out, okay, how old were you when you started having, when you had your first stroke, when you had a heart attack? And that way we can start watching you closely and say, okay, you're getting the same age as your parents were when they first had started developing heart disease. And we really want to, do everything we can to prevent the development of heart disease.
Right. Good to know. Good to know. So, what would you say to someone who may be scared to go to the doctor? We all have friends who say they are, and worried about what their test or exam may reveal and tell them.
So knowledge is power. I know it's scary to especially start on, especially when you have family history of heart disease, but it's better to know and to be informed. So if something's not quite right, that's the time to start making a plan and getting you on medications or, figuring out what's going on so that you can get back to a healthy lifestyle.